Good evening. I am very thankful for this opportunity. I want to thank the elders for allowing me to speak on our last service of the year. This is it. And, a lot of people at this time, they stop and they think about their New Year's resolution. And that's not me. I am not a New Year's resolution guy. For those that know me know that I don't make resolutions. I either do it or I don't do it. The thing that I worry about most about the New Year's is how many weeks into of January in my email do I have to say Happy New Year's to people as I'm emailing people for business. That's kind of the only worry I have when it comes to 2026. But tonight, what I really want to talk about is the last time. Because 2026 is going to have a lot of last times for us, whether you want them to be here or not. For our little family, we have a lot of last times coming up in 2026. For especially my older two, Cooper and Riley, we've got a lot of things that we are looking forward to, but then again, also not looking forward to. In March, it's going to be the last time that my two go out and play basketball in high school. For Riley, it's the last time, unless something crazy happens. For Cooper, it's hopefully just his last high school game only. In May, it's last baseball, which that one's really going to hit me. We've been doing that for a long, long time for Cooper. For Riley, it's last high school soccer game, but not the last soccer game at all. It's going to be the last time that those two are living in my house full-time, even though we're still in charge of you, and you already know that. But there's a lot of bittersweet things that come with the last time. Unfortunately, for some of us, there's going to be a last goodbye that we're going to tell somebody. There's going to be last moments that we're going to have with people. There's going to be a last time at your job, maybe, that you weren't exactly expecting. There's going to be those things that are going to be the last time. And most of the times we associate negative thoughts or negative things when it comes to the last time. But this evening we're going to look at three, and there's a lot of other examples, but we're going to look at three positive last times that we can put into our lives and that we can make 2026 an even better time for us by looking at those last times. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, it says, "Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." We should let, point number one, this year or this upcoming year, even starting tonight, be the last time as Christians that we ever feel alone. We have the opportunity to let other people into our lives to help us out along our way. Now, listen, I know when things aren't going my way, the first thing I always want to do is I want to kind of shrink and just be kind of that person of one. But we as Christians have the ability to allow others to help carry our burdens, and so that we can make it to where this is the last time we ever feel alone. In Romans chapter 12, verse 15, it says, "Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that do weep." We have this opportunity to be together, to stick together, to find people who have the like mind that we have, and to have them help us, and for us also to be a help. I love this verse here in Romans where it talks about we also need to rejoice with those that rejoice. The world gets jealous when people become successful. The world becomes jealous when we see other people having the things or the successes that we might want. That can happen too inside of the church, and we need to rejoice with one another as well, because you know what? Sometimes even in our successes, we can feel alone because people don't rejoice with us. You know, I'm guilty of this, and I was actually guilty of it today, and I don't know if maybe you are as well, but Cooper and I were talking today about tonight and what the plans were, and first off, we both kind of forgot what day it was. It's kind of a blur right now in the holiday season. But he's like, what are the plans for tonight? And I said, well, first, we're going to church. And then I started thinking about it as I was thinking about this lesson. We use that phrase, going to church, but we forget we're not actually going to church. We are the church. We're going to worship as the church, and we're going to meet as the church, but you and I are the church. And when we confront this idea of not being alone in 2026 or ever again, that last time, we need to understand that the church isn't 2 times a week. The church isn't Sundays and Wednesdays. The church, more importantly, is what we do on those other 5 days of the week. Our board says 165. I don't know if that's right. Jared keeps count. He's a dentist, not a mathematician. But of those 165, or on the app, there's even more people on the app of lists of members of this congregation. We should be actively looking for one another. We're not all going to be the very best of friends, but we're all family. And we are all the church. And we should be building one another up. And this should be the last time that we should ever feel alone in the walk that we have with Christ. The second thing is the last time is that this should be the last time that we hold on to those burdens that slow us down. In Hebrews chapter 11, we have this amazing roll call of faith. And there's amazing men and women who face things that you and I don't fully understand. We can't fathom the things that some of those people went through. But we do understand what it's like to walk through this world and the darkness there is of it. But in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God." You know, we have a lot of burdens that we can't set down. Let's be honest. Being a parent is a burden that we don't get to just put down when we want to. Being a student in school isn't a burden that we just get to say, "Not today, I'm not doing that." And so there are things that we do have to carry that can slow us down sometimes in what we are doing. They bring us anxiety. They bring us stress. But there are things, though, that we need to let go. We need to do away with in our lives. The temptations that are out there, if there are things that we know that are going to easily trip us up, we need to let those things go. You know, I have a rule when it comes to traveling, and I do travel a lot. But I've made a rule long ago that I will never run in an airport. I would rather miss my connecting flight than run through an airport dragging my suitcase with a backpack strapped to me, trying to catch my breath. And you already know I'm not in good shape. I am not going to get on a plane soaked in sweat trying to catch my breath just to get to wherever I'm going to go. Especially if I'm trying to go to a meeting. I'll miss a meeting just so I don't have to run through an airport. But how many times have we tried in our run for Christ that's been set before us, tried running, lagging, and pulling behind that baggage that slows us down, the baggage that gets in our way? We need to let this be the last time we carry that baggage with us. Let those things go. Going back to point one, have people help us with those burdens. They all kind of run together, right? That weight isn't so heavy if I know I have someone else helping me carry it as well. We need to let this time be the last time. And let this run that we have be as light as possible so that we can get to that destination, which is heaven. The last one is, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it talks about the Last Supper, or that Lord's Supper. You know, there's that famous painting by Da Vinci, the Last Supper. I just realized last time Brooke and I were in Italy that it was literally right around the corner from where we were in Milan. And so next time I go, I really do want to see it just because it's historic. But that supper was set for you and I. Look at Matthew chapter 26, beginning in verse 26. "And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, 'Take, eat. This is my body.' And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, 'Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.'" The last time that Jesus sat and ate with his disciples was the last time that mankind was separated from God. Because he went to that cross, and because he set that ultimate sacrifice, giving of himself, his blood, flowing freely for us was the last time that you and I had to be separated from that great love that God has shown towards us. We know that when he died, that veil was ripped in two, giving us direct access to our God so that we could live with him in eternity. In 1 Peter chapter 2, beginning in verse 24, it says, "Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sin, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls." You know, this evening, before worship started, we had someone decide that this was the last time he would ever be separated from God. We all have that opportunity because of a love that was shown towards us through Christ. And so we should make tonight that very last time that we are separated from that wonderful gift that God has given to us. Tonight is the night. While there might be some scary lasts that are coming our way in 2026, there might be some ones that cause us to have tears, to have heartache, to have anxiety. We should also know there's some last times that should make us happy, that should give us hope. And one day, because of that, when we take our last breath, we will live with him in eternity. If you have any needs, come now as we stand and sing our song of invitation.
What can wash away